Good morning, sir. Today I would like to present my individual assignment for the subject commercial law, focusing on the law of contract and the law of agency. The objective of this assignment is to analyze several legal problems by applying the IRAC method, which consists of issue, rules, application, and conclusion. The answers are based on the Contract Act 1950 and relevant decided cases. The objective of this assignment is to analyze several legal problems by applying the IRAC method, which consists of issue, rules, application, and conclusion. The answers are based on the Contract Act 1950 and relevant decided cases. Question 1. Ratification of agency. For question 1, the issue is whether Corinne can be legally bound by the action of wholly through ratification, even though wholly exceeded her authority as an agent under Section 149 of the Contract Act 1950. An act done by an agent without authority may be ratified by the principal. However, ratification is only valid if certain conditions are fulfilled. This includes that the agent must act on behalf of the principal. The principal must have full knowledge of all material facts, and the ratification must be complete and unconditional. This principle was established in the case of Kate Lee, Maxted, and Co. v. Duran, where the court held the partial ratification is not a law. In this case, wholly exceeded her authority by purchasing an apartment instead of a terrace house, and at the highest price. Although Corinne agreed to the price, she refused to accept the agreed 10% deposit and only agree to pay 5%. This shows that Corinne only accepts part of the transaction. Therefore, Corinne cannot validly ratify wholly action number 2 and is only legally frustration of contract by the contract. Question 2, the issue is whether the contract between Natalia and Janus Bothwell Srenberhat was frustrated due the cancellation of the National Day display. According to Section 572 of the Contract Act 1950, a contract becomes void when an unforeseen event occurs after the contract is formed, making performance impossible. This doctrine was explained in the case of Taylor v. Caldwell and further applied in Krell v. Henry. In this case, the main purpose of hiring the boat was to view the National Day display. The cancellation due to heavy rain and storm was unforeseen and beyond the control of both parties. As a result, the foundation of the contract fell under Section 66 of the Contract Act 1950. Any benefit received must be returned. Therefore, Natalia is entitled to a refund of 8,000 ringgit, and Janus Bothwell Srenberhat cannot claim the remaining 12,000 ringgit. Existence of a binding contract. For question 3, the issue is whether a binding contract exists even though no formal written agreement was signed. A valid contract requires offer, acceptance, consideration, intention to create legal relation, and certainty of terms. In the case of RTS Flexible System Ltd v. Molkari Alois Muller, the court held that a binding contract may exist based on the conduct of the party. In this case, Elliot accepted Kauman's proposal subject to formalization. Despite this, Kauman commence construction with Iliad knowledge, and Iliad allow the work to continue. This conduct clearly show intention to create legal relation. Therefore, a binding contract exists, and kauman kontrak sendirian berhad is entitled to payment question of the work complete. Offer and acceptance. For question 4, the issue is whether a valid contract was formed between Electra and Molly. An advertisement, and generally an invitation to treat Molly letter offering 1,000 ringgit was an offer. Electra replied by offering 1,300 ringgit, which constitute a counter offer. According to the case of Hyde v. Range, and the counter offer terminate the original offer. Since Molly did not accept the counter offer, no contract was formed. Electra later attempt to accept the 1,000 ringgit offer is inactive because the original offer no longer existed. Therefore, no valid contract exists. Question 5. Caution. For the question 5, the issue is whether the contract entered into by Aaron and Jacinta are avoidable due to caution under Section 15 of the Contract Act 1950. Caution involve threat or act forbidden by law to obtain consent. Contract enter under caution and voidable, as established in the case of Kesamar, Lecuman das v. Valiapa, Setar. In the both situation, Aaron and Jacinta were surrounded and fear for their life when signing the contract. Their consent was not freely given. Once the fear ended, they sought to set aside the contract within a reasonable time. Therefore, both contracts are voidable, and Aaron and Jacinta are entitled to receipt. In conclusion, this assignment demonstrated the application of the law of the contract and the law of agency in resolving commercial disputes by applying the IRAC method. Relevant provision of the Contract Act 1950 and decided cases were used to reach fair and logical outcome. That's my presentation. Thank you.